Nigeria has tried to get the United States to categorize Biafrans as terrorist organizations. They've tried it so many times. And in that time, we were IPOB. They want IPOB, they want MASOP, they want any group advocating for Biafra self-determination to be officially labeled as terrorist or destabilizing elements, now that they've added recently by the US government. All the target has always been, the US government, because that is the leading country where it matters. Once US labeled you a terrorist, then others will follow. The same thing, once they recognize you, others will follow. That is the only country that decisions are made and others will follow. So, and they've spent enormous effort on this every time. But guess what? When they do it, they will fail. Each time they do it, they will fail. So I just want to let us or remind ourselves of what happened in 2021. To be precise, October 4, 2021. Maybe this will wake up Biafrans and bring them back home. Washington Times published an opinion piece by Ivan, I-V-A-N, Ivan Sascha Shehan, an American academic who is the executive director of the School of Public and International Affairs at the University of Baltimore. And when this publication was made, it was titled, US, listen to what they called us, US ignores, some of us might have gone through this, but I think we have forgotten, or some still remember, or some might not even have heard about it. The title was, US ignores small African terrorist group, IPOB, at its peril. That was the title of that publication. And Washington Times published it. Listen to the title again. US ignores small African terrorist group, IPOB, at its peril. And the article argued that the United States should designate IPOB, by that time we will call IPOB, as a foreign terrorist organization. And it claimed IPOB was violent, dangerous, and a threat to stability. And Nigeria loved this article so much because they were the ones that sponsored this article. And they promoted it everywhere. They even used it in their advocacy. Nigeria media outlets published it, even government officials cited it, and all that and all that. But something happened, US, they are not stupid. They are not like Nigeria. Yes, so the Council on Foreign Relations, one of America's most influential foreign policy think tanks, published a direct response to this, and their analysis was devastating to the Nigerian argument. They explained that designating IPOB as a terrorist organization would be a mistake. Underline it, a mistake that does what? Risk causing a massive human rights crisis. My people, this fight to label us terrorists, to label us troublemakers, now they've added the stabilizing element, did not start today. How I wish our people will come together and prove to the world that we are not what they claim that we are, that all that we are seeking is our freedom from Nigeria. So this man said this will be a very big mistake that risks causing a massive human rights crisis. And they pointed out that for a group to be designated as a foreign terrorist organization under US law, it must threaten the security of US nationals or the national security of the United States. And IPOB doesn't meet this criteria. That was our savior. Said, no, we have not met this criteria. We are not a threat to the security of US nationals, neither are we a threat to the national security of the United States. So why should they label us a terrorist? Remember, the title of the article was what? A small African terrorist group, IPOB. If you ignore it, if US should ignore it, they should ignore it at their own peril. I don't know if you are hearing me. So the Council on Foreign Relations made this observation, and he said, I'm quoting, as long as Biafran groups remain non-violent, they are legitimate expression by a people that feels marginalized and wrongly treated by the Nigerian government. Did you hear what the man said? I'm going to read it again. He said, from his observation, as long as Biafran groups remain non-violent, they are legitimate expressions by a people that feels marginalized and wrongly treated by the Nigerian government. This is not a Biafra propaganda. No, this was the report from the Council on Foreign Relations, United States of America. They defended us and said, no, we have been marginalized, we have been killed, we are non-violent people. Why should this Ivan, what is it? Wait, let me go back and look at the name of that person. Wait, waiting with the name, sir. Ivan, yeah. Why should he write out this kind of propaganda? Why should he carry this kind of headline that they should designate us a small African terrorist, IPOB? So the man said no. This council said no. The Council on Foreign Relations said no, it cannot happen. You see? Said it cannot happen. And then in September 2017, the US State Department officially stated through their embassy spokesman and said, the indigenous people of Biafra is not a terrorist organization under US law. They came out outrightly. But here is what is important for you to understand, my people. Very, very important. Nigeria has not given up on this strategy. They have not given up. That is the reason they're still fighting us till today. Part of what they are paying DCI group for to continue framing Biafran group as destabilizing. They've added another name now. They want them to frame us as violent people. They want them to frame us as extremist elements. They want American policymakers to see Biafra the same way they see Boko Haram or their terrorist bandits. And this is where Biafra lobby becomes absolutely critical. This is the reason why we must fund our lobbies. This is the reason why, if you can, I know that you can, we are not looking for big money, whatever you can, go and join the lobbying firm. Every money goes there. Contribute what you have. Give us your IOU. This is a diplomatic war. Whether you like Prime Minister Oge Nkere or not, Nigeria has labeled you as a destabilizing element. And what are we supposed to do? Go and join the lobbying firm. Go to our website and deposit money. This fight did not start today. And Nigeria is not wasting. You see what is happening? That is why they paid so much amount of money. Because if Nigeria succeed in getting even one American congressman or senator to start using the language they want them to use that categorize peaceful Biafran advocacy as terrorism, it changes the entire conversation. And you see, our Prime Minister Oge Nkere will not be able to meet with American officials again. Even our representative will get questioned at the airport. Our funding sources will get investigated. This is why having professional lobbyists in Washington, D.C. is not an option. It's not optional. It is existential. We must pay. Patrick Smith interview, I love listening to that man's interview. He revealed something very, very crucial about it. He noted that Nigeria is experiencing violence across the country. In the north, every way, including Biafra land. But Nigerian government has a double standard. They negotiate with bandits. They give them amnesty. They even host them in their government houses and reward them with money. But when it comes to Biafra, who we are advocating peacefully for self-determination, they call us terrorists. That was what Patrick said. Even Nigerian human rights activists are calling this out just yesterday. Ade Jangu, a Nigerian lawyer, also said it. He condemned the government policy of negotiating with terrorists while keeping our Onyendu in the prison. He said, and I'm referencing him, these terrorists have committed far worse crimes than NNAMDI KANU, who never physically killed anyone. That is a Nigerian activist pointing out this hypocrisy to them. And this is a kind of internal contradiction that makes Nigerian lobbying position in Washington, D.C. impossible to sustain. Now, my people, Do you see what we are saying? This fight did not start today, and they are not giving up. They have come out to threaten us with money. I told you, they paid the deposit 4.5 on December 12, 2025. The balance is due June this year. The balance of 4.5. And who signed the contract? Ribadu. Why Ribadu? Because it is Islamic agenda. The Asta is from northern part. Ribadu is from northern part. Where did the money come from? OIC and every other Islamic organization. The contract was not signed on behalf of Nigeria or on behalf of Department of Defense of Nigeria or nothing, not even on behalf of Tinubu, not on behalf of the presidency that they like using every time, but on behalf of Ribadu. So I want to address something that will make all of us to be uncomfortable, but that is the truth. It is very, very critical I address this thing because the biggest risk to Biafra progress right now is not even the Nigerian 1 million lobbying campaign. The biggest risk is Biafra not understanding how close we are and not supporting the institution that are delivering these victories. That is the main problem that we have. That is the biggest risk. Yes. Because we have internal sabotage and division. People in our community right now who spend more time fighting each other than fighting Nigeria. They question every decision. They attack our leaders. We just finished election now. We have a prime minister that still say, oh, hey, no other prime minister than Simon. But oh yeah, go to Finland now. Go and give him paper to sign for you in Finland. Go to Finland. Go to Sokoto prison. Take your papers down there. They need their signatures. Oh yeah, go. These are the people that are spreading conspiracy theories about who is really in charge. And this is what Nigerians love. Nigeria's lobbies don't have to defeat us if we defeat ourselves. You see? So if you think about it from the Washington perspective, because that is where we are talking about now, you know, when a congressional staffer is considering whether to support us, and they look at our community and see this constant infighting, what do they conclude? They may say we are not ready for independence. They may even say, oh, we can't govern ourselves. We cannot afford this anymore. We have a prime minister. We have a government in exile. That is the institutional structure that we are talking about, based on our charter, our laws, our bylaws. We have professional lobbies delivering results, and we can see. Wait. 1 minute. Let me just play this thing small.
Groups are also lobbying Washington, calling for sanctions, recognition, and even future military and oil deals. I mean, how seriously are these groups being taken in U.S. policy circles?
Well, serious enough that you've got people like Ted Cruz, who is the conservative senator who chairs the Senate Foreign Relations Committee.
Serious enough. This is a British national telling you how serious our lobbyists are. Because they are a team. How serious they are. So why are you fighting them? Why are you not coming together? Why are you not bringing your resources together? Why is it every time you disagree with specific decisions? Why? Public fighting undermines our institutions. That is sabotage. And we all need to call it out as it is. It is not taking us anywhere. We have a second trait: personality worship and factional loyalty. If it is not this one, I will not follow. Because some people are more loyal to individual personalities than to the Biafra cause itself. They follow specific leaders like, cult of personality. And when those leaders have disagreement, bagam, which is normal in any political movement, their followers will turn those disagreements into wars. You begin to inherit another person's enemy. This is exactly what Nigeria wants. Divide and conquer has always been their strategy. As long as we are fractured into competing factions, we can't present a united front in Washington, D.C. We can't speak with one voice. We can't even coordinate our strategy. And the solution is very simple. Follow principles, not emotions. Follow strategy, not emotions. Not personalities. Support our Biafra Republic government in exile, not individuals. Don't support 1 million. Support the Biafra government in exile. Don't support Olokpa Minister Love. Support the institution, which is the Biafra Republic government in exile. Our goal is Biafra independence, not the glorification of one person. Biafra is bigger than one man or one person to handle. Everyone who contributes to that goal deserves respect. Everyone who undermines that goal, regardless of their title or popularity, needs to be held accountable. That is how government should be. We have another trait: disinformation and unrealistic expectations. Because I see this constantly on social media. Someone will post that, oh, UN is about to recognize Biafra next week. Hey, UN is even in our backyard. What are you talking? Someone else will claim that America has already agreed to a military intervention. These are false claims, and they create unrealistic expectations to Biafrans. And when those expectations aren't coming so fast as they portray it, people get discouraged and stop supporting the movement. Why do you tell people today we are getting Biafra? We have to be real. The truth is more powerful than false hypes over there. The truth is that we have made unprecedented progress in Washington, D.C. over the past 2 years. We need to do more. We have professional lobbyists who are, outmaneuvering Nigeria $9 million campaign. And we have created the Biafra Republic government in exile that is impossible to erase. And we have shifted the narrative from, hey, Biafra is history, to Biafra is a present tense political reality right now as we speak. That progress is real. That progress is measurable. And it is sustainable at the same time. But it requires patience. It requires strategic thinking. It requires consistent support. It requires funding. Yes, that is what we need. It doesn't require false claim that that's set up for disappointment tomorrow. We have another trait that is troubling us so much. This is the climax: funding fatigue. I added fatigue because it is a fatigue. And free rider problem. That is, here's the hardest truth among all of them. If every Biafran in diaspora contributed at least 10 ejemma per, I'm saying every Biafran at least 10 ejemma per month, we would match Nigerian lobby's budget in 1 week. We will even, pay more than this. What is 9 million US dollars? I'm saying $10, 10 ejemma every month from all the Biafrans in diaspora. Each person. And we would have more money than Nigeria. But what happens instead? A small core of committed people fund everything, while millions of Biafra treat this like someone else's responsibility. Then tomorrow you come and look for position. You want to get free citizenship without sacrificing anything. That is a free rider problem. Everyone wants independence, but not everyone wants to contribute to achieving it. You are leaving it to these core people. Nigeria is spending $750,000 every single month because they know this is existential for them. So if we are serious about Biafra independence, we need to match that level of commitment. And we have the numbers to do it. Not that we don't have, we have. We just need coordination. Another trait that we have is distrust of our own institutions. My people say, a new farmer kuru fonta, that ndong the other pikasin. What does that mean? If you call your house kachara is Arabic. I would like all let me see if I can find any English to suit. This is our proverb. If you call your house a tattered house, your neighbor will bring fire and set it ablaze for you because you started it. I think that is the best way I can translate it. Because this might be the most damaging trait of all. We have built an institution called Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Professional lobbyists. And they are representing us very well. And you could hear from Patrick that we are very serious, extremely effective. We have media platform. That is why we have gathered here. These institutions are delivering results every day to the extent that Nigeria, they are on flight. They are not resting. They are the reason why we are winning in Washington, D.C. But I see people in our community constantly questioning Briggy and questioning all these institutions. Who elected them? Why should they elect them? How do we know the money is being used properly? Why should we trust them? And this question comes from a place of trauma. We've been disappointed before. We have seen leaders fail us. What are you talking about? But the reality is this: we will never achieve independence without these institutions. Are you going to say media should not exist? Are you going to say our lobbies should not exist? Are you going to say we should not have cabinet members? Are you going to say we should not have prime minister? We are not a ship without a sailor. No. I don't know if you are still hearing me. So we have a choice. We can continue questioning and undermining our own institutions until they collapse from lack of support, or we can strengthen them, hold them accountable through proper channel, and give them the resources that they need to deliver results. It's left for us to decide what we want. Nobody will decide for us. We are winning. We are winning in Washington, D.C. Even in the homeland, we are winning. Because some of us will be thinking, oh, we have lobbyists in Washington, D.C. We are spending this percentage monthly. Nigeria is spending this. When does UN recognize Biafra? When does America intervene? When do we get our country? Who are you asking? Who are you asking? If that is what you are expecting next month or next year, you are going to be disappointed. Lie down, prepare a cup of coffee, be sipping it small, small. You will be disappointed. Who are you asking all these questions? But if you understand what the actual faces of victory looks like in a lobbying campaign, you will realize how much progress we have already made and how close we are. We have made progress, but we need you because we want to make more. We have credible establishment. We have achieved that. Because this is where a movement goes from, being visible to being recognized as a legitimate actor. 10 years ago, let me ask, when someone in Washington, D.C. heard the word Biafra, they probably thought of 1960 civil war and starvation images. That is what always comes to their mind. That was our brand, That was our history and our suffering. Today, when congressional staffers hear Biafra, they know that there is an active political movement with professional representation in DC, just like what Patrick is saying. They know there are lobbies that can call for information. They know that there is a government in exile with institutional structure. So we have moved from history to present tense political actor. We have completed phase 1. We have also achieved phase 2, which is narrative dominance. What are we talking about here? This is where we are right now. Right now. This is the battlefield now, where Nigeria is spending millions of dollars. Narrative dominance, that when policymakers think about Nigeria, they automatically question its stability, which is what they're doing. False news, false narrative, fake news, right, left, center. It means when there is violence reported, people face, instinct is to ask, is Nigeria falling apart? Rather than, is this a temporary problem? Patrick analyzed this. He helped us to understand this phase that we are, this narrative dominance phase that we are. He noted in that interview that Nigeria's biggest enemy in Washington is not even Biafra, that it is time. Yes, he said it is time. Because every year that passes, Nigeria's arguments get weaker and weaker and weaker, while Biafra case gets stronger. So Nigeria is working with time now, they're panicking. Every year, more violence is documented. Every year, more contradictions are exposed. Every year, more Nigerians elites are leaving the country. Where are they going? You think they don't ask them? Every year, the evidence mounts that Nigeria is currently structured. Structured is not sustainable. Every year, their structure is no more sustainable. 10 years ago, if someone said Nigeria might break up, people in DC would start laughing. They would have laughed. 5 years ago, they might have, dismissed it as unlikely, it will not happen. But today, the narrative has changed. There are think tanks analyzing partition scenarios happening in Nigeria right now. There are academic papers studying peaceful dissolution models that will take place in Nigeria very soon. That is, if we are ready. So that shift from impossible to let's study what happened if. They are now studying what will happen if Nigeria break up. And it is imminent. It has to. So we are winning. We are winning because we have institutional embedding. But are you part of this win? No. You are sitting on the fence, allowing certain group of people every Saturday, every week they gather. Your own is, well, even when they say join the Zoom, you will not join. You want to watch a blank screen from YouTube. Tell me, you cannot even hear anything. Log into the Zoom. You are waiting for Mama Betty. You are waiting for our information minister. You are waiting for Minister Snow to stream it. You are not even listening. You are not hearing anything. Just to on your TV and sit down there. Instead of you to get into the Zoom. Maybe from there you'll be challenged. At least to give your one AJ or one AJ. No, you don't want to do it. Download your Zoom. No, you don't. What else do you want? You want free citizenship. So Biafra has become part of how Washington talks about Nigeria in official capacities. It means congressional hearing where members of Congress mention Biafra by name. And now when they mention Biafra by name, our Prime Minister will not say, I am acting. He will say, I am the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. Ngwanu, give me the document, I will sign. Not signing for or on behalf of. No. That era has passed. That era has passed. He cannot sign for or on behalf of. So we are starting to see the early stage of this institutional embedding taking place. The fact that DCI group had to be hired. The fact that Nigeria is spending this $millions of dollars. The fact that they are now, competing a lobbying campaign. All of these signals that Biafra is becoming embedded in institutional thinking about Nigeria. And the end game is policy leverage. Because this is when the United States conditions its support for Nigeria on governance reform. This is when international bodies recognize Biafra's right to self-determination. And when economic pressure makes negotiation inevitable for Nigeria. We are not there yet. But with your AJ and Ejema, we will reach there soon. You need to understand the distance between where we are now, which is the phase 2, and where we need to be, which is this phase 4, is shorter than the distance we have already traveled. It's shorter. Oh my goodness me. I don't know if I'm making sense or not. We are in the narrative. With AJ and Ejema, we have to come together because Nigeria does not have time again on their side. A lot of, killings that have been documented. So many watchdogs are reporting directly to the United States congresspersons. So many contradictions are now visible to the world. And Patrick Smith made that observation in his interview. He said that Nigeria is afraid its internal contradictions are now visible to the world, and the Biafra is the lens exposing them. Because, for decades, Nigeria presented itself to the world as a united country, with internal challenges, yes, and that was corruption. There was corruption, there was violence, but the narrative was always, oh, we are working on it. Hey, don't attack our sovereignty. We are one Nigeria, give us time. But now, because of Biafra advocacy, because of our lobbyist professionalism, because of the institutional media where me and you are still staying here till now, that contradiction are impossible to hide. Very, very impossible. Every time they say they are protecting Christians, but Christians are being kidnapped from churches every week. 160 last Sunday. So if Nigeria is protecting Christians, why do Christians need armed guards in church every time? Why are rural areas completely insecure? Why is there no security pressure when bandits attack? Why? You will hear them say, hey, they respect rule of law and democracy. What are you talking about? But they categorize peaceful political advocacy as terrorism while negotiating with the actual armed terrorists. Biafra activists who have never killed anyone, Aonyendu, has been detained, locked up in Sokoto prison. Patrick said that data shows over 10,000 people have been killed. That it is not a regional violence. It is a national crisis level of insecurity. But what the Nigerian government said, they keep pretending everything is fine. The one that happened on Sunday, they came out and attacked a KANU president that is lying. Their foreign minister says the Christmas Day airstrike was based on shared intelligence between US and Nigeria. But what did New York Times report? It was influenced by a screwdriver salesman through Google search. So both things cannot be true. So which one is true? And why is Nigeria's own narrative contradicting itself? So these contradictions are not Biafran propaganda. These are documented facts that anyone in Washington, D.C. can verify. And this is why Nigeria is losing the narrative war, despite spending so much amount of money. Patrick said, Nigeria is lobbying to survive as a state, not to defeat Biafra. They are struggling. They are lobbying to survive because we have buried Nigeria. We have demoralized Nigeria. So they are lobbying to survive, not even to defeat Biafra, because we already defeated them. They are scrambling for air to breathe. They are scrambling for where, they will, repolish their faces and regain their image. It is not possible. So when you are spending millions to convince people that your country is not collapsing, you're already on defense. That's what it means. You are already on defense. But Biafra, on the other hand, is lobbying to exist. We are on offense. We are presenting an alternative vision, a stable one for that matter, a stable, independent Biafra that serves the Western interests as well. So Nigeria must collapse. I will yield my mic here. Minister Love, your hand was up. I will yield my mic here and pass my mic to Minister Love. Are you still there? Abby? Can you hear me at all?
Hello, my host.
Yeah.
I can hear you. You're on board. Everyone is hearing you. But please,
Oh, okay.
before Minister Love come up, try to bring MID up. I've been trying to approve his request this somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, Minister Love, you have the mic if you are still there. Alokba. I think she's not close to her mic. MID, you have the mic. Welcome.
Yeah, there were our
There,
honorable
Amedi.
tutor. There were a condo.
Ekon.
Yeah,
MID. Ekon.
there were. I want to use the opportunity to thank all Biafrans and especially the office of our new elected and sworn-in Prime Minister, Right Honorable Oge Nkere, and all his officials therein. And the same way, all our Biafrans listening here, especially our lady with electric lights, our COS, Mr. Snow, 30ville. So, Veteran Dragon, everybody here present. So it is Biafra o'clock. And I just wanted to assure people that the result effect of our international diplomacy has opened a kind of hope for Europeans that are not affiliated with the colonial masters, the Europeans that are not affiliated with France and Britain, like the government of Italy, like the government of Germany is also waking up. They are waking up. It is just left for our liaisons in Europe and across board to buckle their trousers, to launch their seat belt very well, because this is the only time we have to let them to know that we're together, that thing that used to frighten them, it's not going to be a problem as far as we are concerned. We are talking about the preservation of humanity. So, based on the kind of persons we have in our liaisons, then the government will have the courage to support us, because them supporting us, we already from the country where we reside, we don't have any problem. Them supporting us is going to also give them hope of survival. That's why I like the kind of a government that is ruling the world now, from the ecclesia and from the governmental side, Donald Trump and the Pope of the Vatican. Because I recall that it was this Pope, Leo the 14th, the first pontiff to analytically express the annihilation of Christians, especially of that of Nigeria. After Pope John Paul II, who visited Nigeria around 1983, something like that. So he's the first Pope that, vehemently defended Christians in Nigeria, because you see the government that is there. So all these things are what we call concatenazione. It is a chain reaction, because when God, according to Bible, wants to liberate his people, he will touch the heart of the kings and the queens, and all of them behave in the same similar pattern. So our diplomatic relations have yielded lots of fruit, to the extent that even they are mocking the Nigerian government, who spend above 9 million to counter the obvious. The obvious is that it is long. It's been long that the jihadists has been killing Christians, and nobody has ever talked. Not that people don't talk, but it has never been brought to the international stage as it is being brought in this particular regime of the BRGIE. So our people should know that, look, this is the golden opportunity for us to get our freedom. All those that have been making noise or sabotaging our efforts, I think that with time, they will know that you don't need to have two governments. I've never seen a country that have two governments. A country have one government. Now, government in exile can never be two. You cannot abandon the first registered government in exile and go and create another one because of your selfish interest or for any reason. No. And above all, the most important thing that the world wants to see from us is how we cooperate, how we respect our law. Our law is our charter and our bylaw. How we coordinate and cooperate, how we do understand ourselves in this particular, government struggle for us to be recognized. That is very, very important. So that is the reason and why our people should give their maximum support to Honorable Oge Nkere, because it is thanks to his diplomatic relations and the endeavors that made America to see what was happening in Nigeria, and therefore decide. They became provoked, and they invoked that law on the protection of persecuted people, and they sent their Christmas gift, the New Year gift, and etc. Before sending the Christmas gift, I think there was the designation of the zoo as country of particular concern. And all these people fighting against, that are envious and are fighting against Oge Nkere, they thought that it is just singular person. Nobody owns Brigi. Those people, they cannot even be ashamed of themselves that even the international journalists, they are saying that it is BRGIE, Biafran government, Republic government in exile, that was the one behind Ted Cruz, action, and all these, all these lawmakers of the United States of America. Even though it is coming from the mouth of the white men, still all these people that are envious, I don't know why they are envious. They are still antagonizing. But I have told them in several of my broadcasts on the way that, look, there has never been three governments in exile. Anything, any spirit that tells you as a member of brigade to go and create another brigade, that is evil spirit. And if it is worse, if you see yourself as a professor or a PhD holder or a doctor, academic doctor or any doctor of nomenclature, and you don't understand that you don't need three governments, that you only need to nurture the government that has already existed. If you don't understand that primary lesson and reality, it means that your education is questionable. Your education is questionable because hence we are talking about government. Government is not association. Government in exile is not an association. You don't have to triplicate or duplicate or quadruplicate or quintuplicate. No, you don't have to, to replicate all those, the government. Government should be one and maintained. So that's what our people need to understand. And two, for those supporting Oge Nkere, which is due and very correct, know you that Oge Nkere was the one that did exactly what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wanted, together with Simon Ekpa. And we have never had him having problem with the duo. Problem came gradually when some people brought Ngozi Orabueze into the brigade. So if any one of us knew when Ngozi Orabueze entered into brigade, know you that that was the time problem started. Till she thought that she has achieved. I know that most people have not yet understood that she was the problem. That was the reason I've been calling on many people trying to make a truce, because I've seen the taproot of the problem. So if those that survived the wave of Ngozi Orabueze of December 2024 still went back and started attacking the foundation, it means that if they are educated, the education should be thrown to the animals. Let them devour it in the bush. Or they have a questionable reason why they are with BRGIE. And if the zoo buy you over, know you that you cannot succeed by stopping the coming of Biafra, because you have already you have already failed. Because none of your group can do what BRGIE, original BRGIE, is doing. You can never do it. And if we happen to sue you to court, we will defeat you. Because what you did is never done in freedom fight. You cannot create a parallel government in exile. What you're supposed to have done is to work together in synergy with that already existing government and make sure you liberate and defend Biafra land. By the time we are totally in charge of Biafra land, as we are defending Biafra land, you also support and synergize to make sure that there is one voice in terms of diplomatic relationship, not when Oge Nkere goes to Washington. When he goes out, Madam Orabueze will enter and say, no, I am the USB charger. That one is not. Then when she goes out, Chioma will enter and say, I am THEBRGIE. The other two are not correct. Then when she goes out, Daddy Oranjo will come and say, Emakonyembo. Oh, Moab isi ọcha na France na one. I am the one. The other three are not. It means Nunu Wondiara. Very, very unethical. So people who really wish us well should know that they should follow one. There is one God. There is one faith. There is one baptism. One God who is Christ. I don't want to take you religiously, but there is one God. There is one faith. There is one baptism. One God who is Christ. There is one government. There is one people. There is one prime minister. There is one diplomatic relationship. There is one voice. There is one people. There is one purpose. That is the formula. That we change the prime minister. It is in accordance to the law. It's because he is in a place where he cannot exercise fully his duty. And our charter said, this is the process we have to undergo in order to continue pushing the boat ahead. Nothing has changed. Nulla si crea, nulla si distrugge. Tutto si trasforma. Nothing is created. Nothing is destroyed, but everything is duly transformed. That is a Mendel theory. You know, that is how it is. So all those people talking nonsense is either they are compromised or they are very, very ignorant. So continue supporting BRGI through Oge Nkere because he is the correct person. The government is on the correct trail. I don't want to waste our time again, but this is anybody hearing the voice of mine today, that is the correct way. Because before God, very correct. Before the law, very correct. Before man, very, very correct. God bless you as you support BRGIE. I yield. Thank you.
In secular seculorum. Thank you, MID. I love that song. Maybe next time you sing again for us. Our choir master in secular seculorum. Yes, thank you, my brother. Yeah, please, my brothers and sisters, share the space. So because I will soon end this space with the after at Ade. Minister Love, are you there? I think she's not still close to her mic. Yes, at Ade Prince, you have the mic. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Adatito. Yeah, give them chance to speak, okay?
Okay, ma. Thank you.
Mm.
At Ade Prince, you have the mic.
Good evening, Biafrans. Good evening, the
Ndewo,
tutors.
ndewo.
Good evening, all the cabinet of the BRGIE. I am the prince, not at the prince, the prince at the prince. Thank God for network today on my area in Biafra land that I can stay and stay this long because anytime I come on, they will kick me out. So network will stop. At times I will be there. I cannot do anything. I cannot come up. I cannot request for anything. Thank God for today. Greetings, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm speaking from Biafra land. See, there is something I want to say here, which most of us already know, but I just want to refresh our memory. From time immemorial, when our able leader, NNAMDI KANU, was there with us, there are so many people by the side, kicking him left and right, kicking him left and right. And when they finally kidnapped him, Prime Minister came up and took the mantle. I know how he has been kicked, even rebelled of being sponsored by Tinubu administration, $15 million and all that. He keep on until when they see that he's not a pushover, and he has been establishing this our liaison office all over Europe. And guess what? That time our office in USA was established. There is one man, I don't know his name, and his gang that went to that house to go and remove our flag. And the Prime Minister promised us that he will do something. Till date, I have not seen that man meddle with our agitation or our work again in Biafra freedom. You see, when the Biafran Republic government in exile sued Ngozi Orebeze after all she did, I'm trying to cut it short so that I will not take long in court, and our prime minister intervened. I was not happy. I was bitter because I know had it been that that court went through all this shenanigan on network and everywhere, we would have stopped. I thank God for today, and I thank God for our prime minister, the current prime minister. Sir, I know you will listen to this space, this our meeting today, the Biafran Republic Government in Exile media meeting. Sir, I want to say this to you. Do not look at anybody's face, even if it is my mom or my dad that is standing on our way. Sue the person to court. Let the person answer to Biafrans. Because I know that BRGIE is the only registered entity to fight for us, according to our Prime Minister. And it is written there. Those people that think that they can do anyhow and get away with it, it is high time to bring them to book. It is high time to let them know that they cannot distract us any longer. It is time to tell them to drop whatever they are doing in meddling with our freedom. If they cannot join us, they should better stamp down, because we don't need any distraction this time. Whom we are fighting and whom we are trying to separate ourselves from are doing everything possible in order to make us to always fight ourselves. Those people they are using is within, and those people they are using that is within have to be dealt with. Seriously, once I see one or two or three people being dealt with, the rest will go to bed. Once any of them is dealt with, everybody will either queue online to support or stay back. I know so many people who are not on our program these days now. Somebody like a Biafran Queen, so many of them that are trying to know which one should I follow, which person should I follow. These people are not steady, they are not together. Knowing fully well that this is the truth and this is where I'm supposed to be. And they are trying to say it's only NNAMDI KANU or our PM, former PM Simon Ekpa, that they know. That is very wrong. Does it mean that these people, if they are not around, that nobody can lead us? There's no capable hand any longer. There's no one who can take us to where we're supposed to be. Look at what our PM, present PM, have done without being PM, just an acting prime minister. Now he is prime minister, is when he needed us. And now he will do that which they think that he cannot do. My people, I don't have much to say except this which I just dropped. I greet you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. At the Prince, thank you for the correction. God bless you for that submission. You really poured out your mind. And you know, we have the best government and we have the best leader that is listening to his followers. And that leader is our Prime Minister, Oge Nkere. It is Biafra first. I have said it, everybody should drop their emotions. We are not here to build friendship and abandon our freedom. We are not here to please anyone. We are not here for competition. We are here to bring what we have, and we all pull our resources together and get our freedom. That is what matters right now. Because if I want to bring all that I've said together, it is very deep. Now you look at Nigeria that has signed 1 million contract with their lobbying firm. They are already terrified. The table has flipped. This is not what they expected. You know, the panic started from when Orabueze failed to deliver. Imam Madabo failed to deliver. Because the reason why they were silent, if you go back and listen to Patrick, I cannot forget that man's interview. Why now? That was the question the man asked. Why now? And why spend such amount of money now? Because they thought their paid agent will succeed to destroy Briggy. So by the time they realized that they will not be able to destroy Briggy, and Donald Trump threatened them with military action, they woke up. And Ribadu said, no, this my father's great-great-great-grandfather's Islamic agenda from Ahmadu Bello and all of them cannot be destroyed like that. And started scrambling, and they finally got this lobbying firm. Deposited the first 4.5 million US dollars. So they are terrified. They know that their internal contradictions are now visible to the world. They know that every year that passes weakens their position and strengthens Biafra's own. And they know that time is running out for them. There is no remedy. There is no way out for them. You see, this lobbying contract will run through till June 2026. That is like 5 months from now. And by the time it expires, one or two things will happen. One of these will happen. This is just my own belief. It's either Nigeria will renew the contract because they are still losing that narrative war, which proves that strategy is working, or they will abandon lobby because it is not delivering results, which still prove that they've given up on controlling the Washington narrative. But either way, we are winning. We are winning. But I want Biafrans to join the lobbying team. Contact Minister COAs. He is in charge. Contact him. Follow him. Message him. Tell him you want to join. Let him add you. Because there is diplomatic war. DC lobbying war. Nigeria is not hiding it, even though we know that they are failing. So we can only sustain this victory if Biafrans understand what is at stake and support Biafra Republic government in exile. Headed by Oge Nkere. I told you there is no way Mama Dabu can elect himself as a prime minister under which entity? It's not possible. Not even Ngozi Orabueze. Now she has jumped out to claim Briggy. Evidence are out there. Briggy that she dissolved and even backed it up with a written document. The day she dissolved Briggy was the day she also dissolved their former prime minister, Simon Ekpa. So why is she jumping out to do as if she loves Simon Ekpa? You see, Simon Ekpa that she said it would be better if he stays there longer. The longer he stays in prison, the better. Where did this love wanting come from? You see? So we have to come together and forget about all these people. We don't even need their sabotage anymore. God will bring fresh Biafrans that will be moved through the action of our lobbyists in Washington, D.C. Because I believe that the entire world might have listened to the interview organized for this Patrick Smith. You know, Patrick Smith's observation has stuck me with throughout this entire conversation. And he said that Biafra stopped asking the world to feel sorry for us and started showing why ignoring us is costly to international interest. That shift is everything. And we've been able to achieve that through our lobbies. That's the difference between being victims and being strategic political actors. Who made that possible? Our lobbyists. Through our government in exile, headed by our Prime Minister Oge Nkere. So when we tell Washington a stable, independent Biafra serves your interest better than a chaotic, a collapsing Islamic terrorist country, Nigeria, that is a strategic argument, and we back it up with evidence. That is the language of power, and that is how you win in DC. They need facts, they need conviction. They need transparency. Because before you even go there, they've already scanned you. They know what you are and what you are made up of. So, but we can only make that argument credibly if we demonstrate that we can govern ourselves, that we can unite our community, that we can sustain our institutions over time. Every moment we spend fighting each other instead of Nigerian undermines that argument. We don't want this kind of fight again. Every dollar, every ejema, every whatever currency we withhold from our institution weakens our position. So release what you have. Release it to Biafra Republic government in exile. Give us your IOU. We have the resources to pay you back. Go to our website www.biafrarepublicgovernment.org. Go and click donate. Contact our COS for the same IOU. Minister Love is all the ministers, contact them. They know how to lead you. It's a very lucrative investment, having a double portion of what you invest. And you know we can do it because we have the resources to do it. Every time we question our leadership publicly, we give ammunition to the Nigerian lobbyists who are trying to convince Washington that Biafrans are not ready for self-governance. So, please, Biafrans, let us, come together and nail this once and for all, because this is what victory looks like in its early stage, not a dramatic. No. Patrick gave us, I love this man too much. I sleep with this interview every time. He gave us the framework. He said that Nigeria's biggest enemy is time. He really exposed Nigeria. He did not even act as a British national that should give support to Nigeria. Every month that passes, more evidence will accumulate, and that is what is playing out. Every incident like the Kaduna kidnapping proves our point just the day before yesterday. This is a country that paid lobby to tell US that they are protecting Christians, and on Sunday, bagam, they kidnapped 160 Christians. Every contradiction like the screwdriver scandal weakens their position, because that is a slap on United States intelligence. Nigeria no dey fear. You see, every dollar that they spend on lobbying is an admission that they can't solve the problem through governance. It shows their weaknesses. Remember when Chris asked Patrick during the interview, he said, does this show weakness? He said, but this is how everybody is doing. He dodged from answering that question because it shows Nigerian weakness. You are weak. You have the channel to discuss directly with the Department of War. Why now go and hire lobbyists? Why spend such amount of money? Why now? Why now? So we are winning, and Nigeria knows it. Washington is starting to see it. The only question is, do Biafrans understand it that we are winning and that we need to do more? Because if we do, if we truly grasp how close we are and how fragile this moment is, then we'll do what is necessary. And the only thing that is necessary right now is Eja and Ejema. We will fund our institutions properly. We will stop this internal fighting. We will support our Prime Minister Oge Nkere. We will coordinate our effort. We will match Nigeria's desperation with our determination. We have everything that we need. What is left now is Eja and Ejema. But if we don't, if we keep treating, this like business as usual, I can sabotage and go scot-free. If we keep undermining our own institution and keep waiting for someone else to fund the struggle, then we will look back at 2026 as the year we had best chance and fumble it. If we are still waiting for our leaders in detention to lead you from detention, then you'll be the greatest mugu, because they cannot do it. They can't speak for you from detention. They don't even know what is happening. Watch and see, all this Simon say will stop very soon. Now our former Prime Minister will live a healthy life because nobody will be bombarding him with gossip. So that is a little contribution I want to add before I end this space, honestly. So I don't want that to happen. I really don't want that to happen. I want us to move forward. I want us to come together. That is the energy that we need now. That is the commitment that wins lobbying wars. That is the unity that, terrifies the Nigerian terrorist country. Nigeria has hired these lobbies to hide the truth. And we have hired our own lobbies to expose it. Truth always wins on its own. But truth backed with resources. Truth backed with coordination. That is unstoppable truth. So the war in DC is not about money. It's about who runs out of credibility first. Who runs out of it? Nigeria is running on empty. One, because they've already finished. Nothing there to show for their credibility. Their $9 million cannot fix this contradiction flying everywhere. They claim to protect people. They can't protect. They claim to have credibility while the screwdriver salesman scandal is circulating. They claim, stability while more than 50,000 people die every year in Nigeria. So we don't need this $9 million to beat them. We just need to keep exposing reality. And reality is on our side. Reality is 160 worshippers kidnapped in Kaduna. Reality is Patrick, documented conflict zone casualty levels. Reality is the New York Times exposing their contradictions. I don't know, I'm talking too much. Reality is our hope. Unity is our strength. So Nigeria is lobbying to survive as a state. Biafra is lobbying to exist as a nation. So one of those is defense, one is offense. And offense wins every time. So let's begin to act. Let's act like we are winning because we are winning. But how do we win more? We need more wins. We need a J and a Gemma. Fund your freedom. Fund our institutions like we are building a nation because that's what we are doing. Support our leaders like we are in the final phase because we are. Defend our unity like our freedom depends on it because that is what it depends on. Please, my people. I don't know if anybody have anything to, to add because I will end the space here. Yeah. So my people, thank you so much.